Tonight at Tropicana Field, the Rays will continue their 7-game homestand, coming off a 3-game sweep to open it, and tonight they will open a 4-game series against the Boston Red Sox. Well, again, everyone, welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Tricia Whitaker with us throughout the game as well. Well, a 9-0 start for the Rays as they square off against this Boston ball club tonight. Offense has been a major part of the Rays' early success story, and the Red Sox are swinging the bats as well.
Yeah, I mean, this series comes down to who's going to pitch well, because both of these offenses are swinging the bats very well. And so let's start with the Rays and what they've been able to accomplish so far this season. You know, they're leading the American League in average, and they're leading Major League Baseball in slugging, on base, OPS, runs per game, 8.3 runs a game, and 24 home runs. Listen, 11 different Rays have hit homers. 9 different Rays have multiple home runs already. So you are talking about a lineup that from top to bottom is getting it done in a big, big way. But then you flip over to the other side, and Boston very quietly swinging the bats very well, getting lots of contributions up and down that lineup. Right here, you take a look at what they've been able to do, 6.7 runs per, an OPS of 814. That's second in the American League, only because the Rays are in the American League, but it's another dangerous offense. They're swinging the bat well right now, and so again, it comes down to pitching. Who does it better? And tonight for the Rays, Jalen Beeks will get the open.
Yeah, Beeks will be the opener for the Rays, and it will be Nick Pivetta, the right-hander, to make the start for the Boston Red Sox. Baseball from the Trop coming up. On Valley Sports is brought to you by Cortland, Next Level Apartment Living, by Frontier, uncable yourself, get fiber internet, by GTE Financial, where banking is instantly easy, and by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Rays open a series against the Boston Red Sox tonight. Wander Franco red hot for the Rays. Rafael Devers hitting in the second spot for Boston. In the season, blasting a big league best 24 home runs to key their 9-0 start. Tonight, the slugging Rays face their toughest task to date as Rafael Devers and the Boston Red Sox arrive to open a 4-game set. Well, the Rays come in with 9 wins, no losses. And this Boston ball club in at 5-4 to open this series. Take a look at some of the numbers across the board for the Rays. First team to go 9-0 since the Kansas City Royals in 2003 to open the season. And the margin of victory, at least 4 runs plus. First 9-0 team to do that since 1884. And that would have been the St. Louis Maroons in the Union Association at that time. Loved their uniforms, though, in 1884.
I love the uniforms from 1884. Also love the fact that the Rays are coming off of a series against the Oakland A's where they outscored them 31-5 in a 3-game series. I mean, it's just been utter dominance by this Rays team on both sides. Pitching, defense, and, of course, that offense, the best in baseball right now.
Well, this Boston ball club, last year the Rays winning 12 of those 19 games in the season series. And the Red Sox looking to improve. They're going to be in town without one of their big bats. Boston over the winter added Adam Duvall, and they lost him to an injury, and they're not exactly sure how long he's going to be out, but The initial prognostications were not all that optimistic, and so we'll see what happens with Duvall and the Red Sox and what that will mean to their lineup. Here is the lineup put together by Alex Cora, presented by your local Ford dealers. Kike Hernandez will lead off. Kike Hernandez at short, followed by Rafael Devers. Justin Turner will be the DH. Masataka Yoshida is in left. Rob Refsnyder in center. Alex Verdugo in right field within sixth, in front of Christian Arroyo at second base. Tristan Casas at first, the number 8 hitter, and the catcher will be Connor Wong.
Well, it took 10 games, Dwayne, but guess what? We finally have our first opener of the season, and that's going to be Jalen Beeks. His numbers from a season ago, 42 total games, did open up 7 of them, had 7 starts, but overall 2.80 on the earned run average, a very good whip, and he will be the guy looking to get the Rays off to a quick start here tonight. Let's look at the Rays defense in the outfield left to right. We've got Randy Arozarena, Manuel Margot, and Luke Raley. And across that infield third to first, let's get going. Isaac Paredes, Wander Franco, Brandon Lau, and Yandy Diaz with Christian Bethancourt back behind the plate. Dwayne, it's all yours.
And all set for the first pitch. Jalen Beeks ready, and here it is. Fastball is upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Kike Hernandez hitting a little over 100 to start this game. That's Raley out there in right field, and he's going to take care of that fly ball. And that's the way this one begins. So 1 up and 1 down, and Rafael Devers will step in. Pitch down and away. Devers off to a fast start, hitting .333, 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in.
He is such a good hitter, fundamentally sound. You know, you see his setup. He's got the open stance. He gets a really good look at the pitcher. That back foot is right on the chalk line, close to home plate.
2-1. Well, a 10-year extension for $313 million. That's going to take the count to 2-2.
Would he dare triple up? 3 straight changeups.
And strike 3, a fastball caught him looking at 95.
The short answer is no. 2 changeups, outstanding down and in to set this up. All of a sudden, the fastball catches plenty of plate. You're not going to see Devers take that pitch very often, but it was the 2 previous pitches that set this up. And no complaints.
Now it's the designated hitter, Justin Turner. And that's a strike right down central with the hard stuff in the mid-90s. 1-1.
Jalen Beeks primarily fastball changeup. We have him seeing it's short, small sample size, but more cutters this year than a season ago.
Fly ball into left. Arozarena is going to be right there, and he makes the catch. 1-2-3 first. Bottom of the inning coming. Yandy Diaz will lead it off. By your local Ford dealers, featuring Yandy Diaz at the top. Then Brandon Lau. Randy Arozarena hits third. Wander Franco, the shortstop, cleanup. Luke Raley, fifth. The DH is Harold Ramirez, followed by Isaac Paredes, Manuel Margot, and Christian Bethancourt.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Boston Red Sox, it's going to be right-hander Nick Pivetta. And you can look and take a look at these numbers. Last 8 games versus the Rays, and that includes the postseason. The numbers have not been good. The record for the team, forget for Nick Pivetta, for the team 2-6, that ERA approaching 6, walks per 9, and home runs allowed.
The first pitch. Yandy leaning back a bit. 1 ball, no strikes. Boston outfield a little bit to the other side. And that pitch crowds Diaz again. 1-1.
Did you see how I tried to highlight the bad numbers there? It'll play itself out over the course of this game. Give you something to look forward to.
High fly ball back into center field sends Refsnyder back all the way to the track, but he has room and makes the catch. A long drive off the bat of Yandy Diaz.
Could that be a little foreshadowing by the Rays here tonight? We'll see. Let's take a look at the Red Sox defense. In the outfield left to right, we've got Masataka Yoshida, Rob Refsnyder, and Alex Verdugo. Across an infield third to first, Rafael Devers, Kike Hernandez, Christian Arroyo, and Tristan Casas with Connor Wong back behind the plate.
Kike Hernandez at shortstop. The first pitch, Brandon Lau takes a strike. Wow, with 2 home runs early. With a little chopper to the right side. That's Arroyo over there. So 2 up and 2 down. And Randy Arozarena will head to the plate. Randy, 371, couple home runs, and 11 runs batted in through the first 9 games. That's just 1 short of Evan Longoria's start in 2009 when he drove in 12 over the first 9 games. Randy with 11. Strike the count. 1. Oh, there's that list. Longoria with 12. Randy 11, along with Carlos Pena, who did it twice. One and 2.
It can really serve as a catalyst to have a good season. You know, get off to a good start, get in a nice frame of mind as you head into the meat of the schedule. And Arozarena, pretty hot. A lot of these Rays hitters hot.
Stairs 2 and 2.
We were talking in the open about the fact that, you know, this team leads Major League Baseball with 24 home runs. They already have 11 different hitters with a home run. 9 of them have at least 2.
There's a liner, and it's going to fall for a base hit. Couple hops picked up by Verdugo on right center. Big turn by Randy, and he decides to hang on with a single.
This is what you love about this team and the way they get out of the batter's box. Randy Arozarena smelled double once the ball left the bat. He was basically of the mindset, you're going to have to keep me at first base. And that's what Alex Verdugo was able to do, because he hustles to that ball in the gap, spin, throw, and get it in. But that's how you're going to have to play it. If not, Rays base runners, they're going to be at second base there.
Wander Franco taking the pitch. What a great way to play the game. Not only for fans to watch an aggressive approach to the game, but you do put pressure on the opposing team when you do that.
No question. And you'll see a bobble out there, and all of a sudden there's Randy at second base, or whoever it may be.
Randy's on the move. The pitch is low, and the throw's going to skip beyond. Hernandez backed up by the second baseman Arroyo. Stolen base, second of the year in as many attempts for Arozarena.
Well, there he is. Randy always wants to go. We know that. Nick Pivetta gave up 19 stolen bases a season ago. And with 2 outs, why not? Get yourself into scoring position. Wong up throwing as quickly as he can. Not good enough.
So now a 2-0 count on Wander. Strike on the outside corner.
I'll tell you one other thing to keep your eye on over this long 4-game series. Boston has given up 15 stolen bases in 15 attempts. Most in Major League Baseball have not thrown anybody out.
And that's going to be a strike. Caught the upper part of the zone. 2-2.
This is a curveball, not supposed to be up there. And it does catch the top part. You know, Wander got burnt on a couple of bad calls in yesterday's game. He wasn't real happy about. I don't think he liked that one either.
And he goes after this one and is out on strikes on the pitch up a little out of the zone. Rays leave a man. No score through 1. Robinson with the Rays when they face the White Sox Friday, April 21st. Visit RaysBaseball.com/42. We're headed into the second inning. And Jalen Beeks, the opener for the Rays, going out there, and a little issue with Bethancourt here before we began, and Kevin Cash called out. Apparently everything's all right. So he made that throw down to second. Look at that again. First pitch into Yoshida is a strike, so we're underway. Kind of unusual there, but apparently everything's okay. Just a little wide. Masataka Yoshida in left field. Takes that one too close. 2-1. Red Sox signed him to a 5-year, $90 million deal after 7 years in the Pacific League in Japan, where he hit 135 home runs at 326. And now in the outfield for the Red Sox. It's fouled back.
Yeah, handles the bat very well. Excellent strike zone discipline. He will pick his spots to turn it loose, but with 2 strikes, he goes into that kind of that battle mode where he's looking to put the ball in play and shooting it through the middle of the field.
And there's a base hit. One of the Rays had that third base spot open. Paredes shaded all the way over in the hole, and Yoshida filled that hole on the left side with a single.
Well, he had a lot of room to play with. You see the amount of room you've got here all the way to that line, and a great job. Watch Yoshida let this ball get deep into the zone. That ball was middle away. That's what we're talking about, bat control and controlling the strike zone. Let that ball get deep, and all you got to do is get it started that way. Good chance it's going to find its way into left field, and it did.
Well, he comes to the Red Sox with that kind of reputation as a good compact swing and a bat to ball kind of hitter, and we saw it right there. It was a strike to Refsnyder. Well, Refsnyder's in center field. Quick strikes right there.
I'll tell you, Yoshida will be one of the guys who benefits greatly from the no shift rule. Having to play those, you know, the infielders, 2 of them on either side of second base with their feet in the infield dirt's going to open up a lot of holes for him.
Swing and missed. Refsnyder out on strikes.
Overpowered by Jalen Beeks. I mean, this isn't above the zone and getting a chase. This is a fastball you're going to power right through the top of the zone. Big swing by Refsnyder, did not cut down at all. And it's by him.
Well, there's Alex Verdugo, and he's the one guy in this lineup who's been a nemesis to Beeks. Verdugo's 5 out of 8 in his career against Beeks. First pitch is a strike. And Verdugo comes into this series locked in.
I'll say 342. Yep. Absolutely right.
Foul over the dugout, ricocheting back out there. And a nice skate save down there by Nick Lenz, the third base umpire.
Yu Chang, former
Yeah.
Ray, sitting there in between the padding, music between the notes.
Yeah, he felt like a target
Yeah.
on that, and then the ricochet out back a third. Foul ball the other way. An 0-2 count. This one down. Nice block by Bethancourt. 1-2.
Change up right in front of him. Get over the top of it. Keep it in front. Keep your eyes on that base runner. Well played by Bethancourt.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Weeks worked 2 innings out of the bullpen 6 days ago against Washington on the road. 2 scoreless, gave up a couple hits, had a strikeout. 2 to Verdugo. Now the count is full, so this after an 0-2 count.
You know, and the problem is these takes for Verdugo have been very, very easy because they have been balls right out of the hand of Jalen Beeks. 2 changeups that bounced, that cutter right there that bounced. It's an easy read for Alex.
Full count. Fly ball lifted into left center field. Margot and Arozarena going to be Randy on the track to make the catch.
Fantasy 5 isn't just a nocturnal game anymore. Now there's a midday draw.
Seize the midday with the new Fantasy 5 draw.
There's Christian Arroyo, the second baseman. He lifts the fly ball into left center. Arozarena to his left, and he makes the catch. So the man left on first base, no score. Jackpot proceeds support youth programming in Tampa Bay. You can win big and support the community. Visit RaysBaseball.com/50/50. Luke Raley against the right-hander Nick Pivetta. The second inning begins with a strike call. Raley, Ramirez, and Paredes due up. Oh, 2. It's a liner going to be in there for extra bases. Back toward the right field corner. Raley digging for 2. The throw from Verdugo is not going to be in time. A stand-up double for the Rays right fielder.
2 quality pitches by Nick Pivetta to get to 0-2. And then he let Luke Raley off the hook. Fastball had to be going for the top of the strike zone, but that ball is just below the belt, right down the middle of the plate. And Luke Raley doesn't miss.
Now Harold Ramirez with an opportunity to put the Rays in front. Swings and misses, chases the pitch up out of the zone, strike 1.
That's what Pivetta wants to do. He's got a good riding fastball with good velocity. If he can command that top of the zone, that really lets his curveball that has a ton of depth go to work against these opposing hitters.
There's another pitch, and he took that one up even more. He still got Ramirez to get after it, and he fouled it back.
You know, and now as a pitcher, you go, well, do I try to walk him up even further? And you've got his eye levels way set high.
If he goes much higher, his catcher can't catch it.
Maybe not. Back to the way he did go.
Look at that.
He did.
I mean, he just went right back up there.
You keep getting the hitter to look at those pitches up that high. That only makes that curveball better. And let's see if he goes with that here.
1-2 the count. And he does. And he got him. So he struck him out. 1 on, 1 out. Let's check in with Tricia.
Well, guys, we've heard from the Rays clubhouse what's been key to their hot start, but what about the opposing team's perspective coming in? Today, Red Sox manager Alex Cora said, listen, the whole talk about their pitching, yes, they've got good pitching, but you look around, they have a bunch of athletes, and they're hitting the ball in the air. He said, offensively, we aren't giving them enough credit. Their big, tall lefties hit the ball out. Their righties are athletic. It's just a lot of good baseball stuff, guys.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely right about that. You know, you think of the Rays traditionally with good pitching, and they don't make many mistakes defensively. But this lineup is a varied lineup that could give an opposing pitching staff a lot of trouble, and we've seen that early.
You know what's interesting? You're right that they're a varied lineup, but you know what they're all doing very well? Controlling the strike zone.
Absolutely.
They're not striking out. They're not afraid to take their walks. They're swinging at strikes. That's why you see the kind of damage that they're doing. Not chasing as much.
Ooh, that's a pitch called a strike on Paredes. Thought might have been off the plate and up a bit.
Using his timeout to kind of regroup. That pitch, absolutely, but should have been, could have been called a ball. Was not. So Isaac Paredes taking his one timeout to gather himself here with 2 strikes.
And a swing and miss. Paredes out on the breaking ball.
Well, that's that curveball that Pivetta features. You see right there that knuckle curve, how tight he spins it. Look at that ball just disappear. That ball's starting up around the thighs, ends up at the dirt. And with 2 strikes, it's so tough to lay off of when he keeps it out over the plate.
And well, Margot. Ooh, that's a foul ball.
Did that get him right?
I think it, yeah, it ricocheted up.
He didn't even flinch.
Nope.
Right down side of the helmet.
Yeah, thank goodness for that helmet.
Yeah.
Well, the Rays left a man at second in the first. Got a leadoff double in the second inning, and Raley is still out there at second. Ground ball back to the mound. Pivetta halfway to first, and the underhanded toss. Rays leave another man. We're at the end of 2. No score.
Now on for the Rays. Let's take a look at our Florida Lottery jackpot stat. And as a reliever, you can see the numbers much better with the ERA at 3.92, the whip at 133, doing a better job of keeping the ball in the yard. And so Josh Fleming, the first time that the Rays have used an opener, Jalen Beeks a very quick and efficient 2 innings, and now Josh Fleming for the bulk comes in here for the Rays and looks to keep the Red Sox off the scoreboard. Nice job by Jalen Beeks. Worked quickly, a lot of strikes.
So Fleming will face Tristan Casas to begin the 3rd. Down and away to the left-handed hitting first baseman. Hunter Wong to follow, and then back to the top of the order, Kike Hernandez. One.
I'll tell you, that's a disappearing pitch there for Josh Fleming. He has a very good 2-seam fastball, but he gets so many swings and misses by left-handed hitters when he keeps it down and in. There's another one.
Another one right there.
He does. I tell you, there's something with the deception on that pitch to these left-handed hitters. You see out to the side, that lower 3/4 arm angle, and he just cannot follow it down and make any kind of contact with it. They think they can get to it, and it just dips below the swing.
Stayed right there. In again with that one, and he strikes out Casas.
Listen, that's all. You talk about the deception. look at these last 3 pitches. You got him strike 1, strike 2, and then take a look at this one. This ball's nowhere near the plate. Casas again thinks he's going to get to it, and that late movement, it just dives right underneath that swing. By the way, if you do hit that pitch, you're just going to foul it off your front leg anyway.
Oh, here on Wong. 2-0.
We did not see that from Josh Fleming in his start against the Nationals. To the left-handed hitters and the right-handed hitters, everything he threw was away. And listen, that's going to be his game. The two-seamer and the changeup are going to do a lot of the dirty work for Josh Fleming. But for those pitches to be effective, especially against right-handed pitching, he's got to shoot one in on him every now and then.
Tap down to third. Nice pickup by Carlos Feglis, the third base coach. 2. Chopper short. Franco on the charge, and the throw in time.
Kind of had to readjust in the middle of charging that ball. Franco coming in and kicks a little bit towards his arm side. Watch him right here. Ball, oh, got to go back and get it. Still plenty of time, and he's athletic enough to make that throw on the money for out number 2.
Top of the order. Pitch wide to Hernandez. Scrums him with a changeup out there. That one fouled. So it's 1-1. Drops in. Breaking ball. How about that?
Yeah, 76. Started off the plate away. The hitter gives up on it.
And he chases this one. Boy, that's a nice sequence of pitches right there. You got Hernandez to chase the change. No score. The Rays have done in the last 20 games in the series between these two clubs. Tropicana Field, the Rays dominating, winning 16 of 20. Christian Bethancourt goes after the first pitch from Nick Pivetta to strike.
A lot of interesting stats in that graphic. You talk about the comeback wins, the never say die attitude, limiting mistakes, only 8 errors compared to the Red Sox 19.
High pop fly into left. Yoshida keeping his eye on that one as he tracks it. 1 away. They're 16-4 over that stretch. The Rays have won their last 9 home games against the Red Sox. Yandy Diaz. Yandy hit one to the track and center in the first. Takes a strike.
I'll tell you, here in the early going, this is about as sharp as we've seen Nick Pivetta against the Rays.
Too wide, 1-1.
He really hasn't missed a spot outside of that 0-2 pitch to Luke Raley. Excellent on the strike to ball ratio, 23-9.
That's going to be a base hit. Dropping into left center field. Snyder with the pickup. Yandy is aboard. A 1-out single.
And that's what you have to do if you're the Rays. You have to be opportunistic. Pivetta not making many mistakes here in the early going, but he makes one here. That slider right there backs up on him and stays right in the middle of the plate. So if you're Yandy Diaz, you can't miss it. Got to put a good swing on it, hit that ball hard, and it falls in for him.
Now Brandon Lau is hitting the ball hard and has done that in the past against Pivetta, coming in 3 of 9 against him. There's strike 1 with 2 home runs. 2 of those hits home runs off Pivetta.
really came alive over the weekend for the Rays. Long ball into play.
This one is up. And it was kind of fun to see him hit the ball with authority the other way. He's been pretty much a straight center pull guy, but he gave that ball a ride to left center.
That ball that he hit for the grand slam was off the plate. That wasn't even a strike. And he went up and shot that ball out to left field. Of course, that was after the hustle plays by Harold Ramirez to keep that inning alive. Took a 1-0 game headed into the 5th, and all of a sudden it was 5-0 and the rout was on.
That's a good take right there, pretty close away from him. And now he has the count in his favor, 3 balls and a strike. And Arozarena on deck. Ball 4. 2 men on. That walk will push Yandy Diaz up to second. 2 men on with 1 out. Here comes Randy.
Well, this is what you can't do if you're Nick Pivetta, and that's what really has cost him in past outings against the Rays. The free pass, the bad counts, and now after giving that hit up to Yandy Diaz, the walk to Lau, and you got the hot Arozarena at the plate.
Randy 5 of 13 now in his career against Pivetta, and he lets it loose right there. Strike 1.
That is an excellent fastball there by Pivetta. Crowding Arozarena, not allowing him to get his arms extended. Ends up taking the pitch for strike 2.
Upstairs, the Rays had Arozarena at second base with 2 outs in the first, left him. Really got the leadoff double in the second. He was stranded. Now first and second, 1 out in the third. And the 1-2 to Randy Arozarena. 2-2, and a nice pick right there by Wong.
Yeah, more like a first baseman than a catcher, and he needed to with those runners out there at first and second. Any trouble here, you're going to have second and third, and he just picks it right off that right knee.
2-2 the count. Here it is. And a high fly ball back into left center field. Refsnyder on the run. He gets it. Made a sliding grab on the track, and back to second goes Yandy Diaz.
What a play by Rob Refsnyder. That ball off the bat of Arozarena looked promising. Refsnyder shaded that way, so he's got the jump on him. But then a great angle, and then watch this. Time to slide as you make the backhanded catch. What a play by Rob Refsnyder. Outstanding.
Well, he bailed Pivetta out right there. And here's Wander Franco. Pitch bites down and in, 1-0 on an opening curveball. That was some grab by Refsnyder. Strike 1, 1-1. Rays with scoring opportunities in each of the first 3 innings here tonight. In on Franco. It's a pop foul. Devers over, but it's going to be out of play.
I'll tell you what, Wander Franco, the start to his season from the right side and the left side, watch the spray chart. Yeah, he's going to hit the ball all over the field because he hits right and left-handed, but look, as a right-handed hitter, 2 to left, 2 to right. As a left-handed hitter, look at the spray across the field. He's handling the bat as well as anybody in this Rays lineup right now, and no part of the field is safe.
On the ground to the right side. Down at first. And that retires the side. Rays leave 2, no score. A home game. Go to any Canes furniture store within 5 days. Pick up a Tijuana Flats coupon. Visit CanesStrikeout.com. Rafael Devers leading off here. Devers and Turner and Yoshida. Want to know the count. This one is chopped to Brandon Lau. And get the dangerous left-handed hitting third baseman. Nice way to start an inning with him up there, 1 gone.
And Josh Fleming will get a lot of that, a lot of choppers when he's on. When you think about the two-seamer, the way it runs and sinks, the changeup, same thing. The breaking ball right there to Devers that he pounded into the ground. When you're seeing that, then you know Josh Fleming's in a good spot.
The strike to Turner, particularly with Devers. He was 6 of 12 in his career against Fleming with a home run.
Listen, if you're a mentally strong pitcher, sometimes a guy being 6 of 12 off you, it helps you because it shows you what not to do. You go in there and say, that's not working. So you completely shift up on your game plan.
Fly ball, right center field. Luke Raley's going to go to the track for it and make the grab. Turner is out number 2. Luke Raley got back there nicely. 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, think about the versatility in this Rays, on this Rays team and in that lineup. Luke Raley, we've seen him out in left making a nice play. Right field right there, play first base.
Low on the first pitch to Yoshida.
Always nice when you can take a guy from the infield and feel comfortable enough to play him in the outfield too.
1.
It used to be one or the other. You were getting a guy that played in the infield only or in the outfield only.
But that's part of the Rays playbook. The flexibility, versatility that they have with their position players. This one is down 2-1.
Think about the other side, Kike Hernandez, another one that can, on a high level can play in the infield and the outfield.
2.
What the break on that pitch.
Popped up, left side. That's Paredes into foul territory. 3 up and 3 down. Bottom of inning 4 coming up. We are scoreless. For the Rays, bottom of the 4th, you can see the Rays offense and where they rank right across the board. Runs first, home runs first, OPS first, strikeout rate 17%. So they're making contact and getting quality at bats.
Fewest strikeouts in the league. I think that's something too that there's a lot of emphasis being placed on, not just by the Rays, but again with the no shift rule. First 2 swings are yours, and then let's try to battle after that. Rays have done a great job of that here in the early going.
Popped up, foul, headed for the seats. 0-2. They've had some opportunities in the first 3 innings of this game. Right now 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position with 4 men left on base. Ball 2 strikes. Raley to be followed by Harold Ramirez, and then Paredes due to bat third. is out on strikes. Hard stuff up gets him. Join the Rays for Autism Awareness Day presented by Bayfront Health. Saturday the 22nd of April. Fans can purchase a special ticket package including a seat and limited edition Harold Ramirez wig headband.
That would have come in handy during those pregame shows out behind outside of gate 4.
That's right. There's a breaking ball to Ramirez. Well, they're stylish. They go with anything.
There's a real good chance I'll wear one during the broadcast that day for the pregame show.
Why not?
Just
Absolutely,
because.
yeah. Just wide. 1-1.
Well, we were remarking the last time that the Rays wore the powder blue tops, how the hair matched the jersey, the arm sleeve perfectly.
Ooh, big cut there on the pitch way up. And we've seen Pivetta stay up out of the zone against him.
Yeah,
the chase there.
Absolutely. Remember the last at bat, he went way up there, then went higher. Harold Ramirez continued to follow him up there.
Just a little bit of that one foul.
That's what put him away in the last at bat. He went with the slider, the elevated fastballs into the slider, got the strikeout, tried to do the same thing right there. And now as a hitter, you're thinking, okay, is he going to double up on that slider or is he going to rush another one to the top of the zone? Because he's been pretty good with the elevated heater.
Popped up down the right side. Casas after it and will not be able to catch up to it. Short of the bullpen bench. The 1-2. It's popped into short right. Verdugo coming in. 2 gone. 2 up, 2 down. The Rays have had 3 hits. They've drawn a walk. Boston with 1 hit. That's been it so far from the offensive side. Isaac Paredes. Paredes came into this game 3 for 6 with 2 home runs against Pivetta. Which is too low. Right now, the Rays 0 for 6 with men in scoring position. Nobody on right now with 2 outs. Bounce foul to Brady Williams and beyond.
And that's one area where the Rays have been outstanding this season. We talk an awful lot about the home runs, and for good reason, but they've been leading Major League Baseball in batting average with runners in scoring position. Boston's way up on the list too.
One and 2. Well, we'll go back and take a look at those home runs.
Well, fastball that he left in the middle in part of the plate at 93, and then another one out there where Paredes can get his arms extended. He has got massive power to the pull side.
Into center field. Snyder coming in on the run, makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. We move into the 5th, scoreless. The field, shop the newest collections of Rays hats, jerseys, shirts, gifts, and more. Purchase in store or online at thebayrepublic.com. Refsnyder leading off, and he takes the first pitch strike from Josh Fleming. Refsnyder in center field now with Adam Duvall out. A little bit high, 1-1. 32-year-old outfielder. A little over 300 and just over 150 at bats last year. 2-1. ground is short. Pick up by Franco, and they throw him out. One away, and of course Adam Duvall was a big part of the Boston plans, and there's the play in which he was injured.
That left wrist, he got the glove caught into the turf and snapped that wrist back. Of course, he knew, I mean, as soon as it happened, what happened, because it's a similar injury that he had a season ago. I mean, he had that right or that left wrist surgically repaired 9-10 months ago.
Yep.
And here it goes again.
Well, 2 years ago, he had 38 home runs between Miami and Atlanta. And then last year with Atlanta, a wave and a miss, and it's 1-2. And the Red Sox got him thinking that particularly at Fenway, he was going to be a dangerous hitter to deal with. And so that's going to be a significant loss for them right now.
Huge. You know, that at a time, there was a time he was leading the American League in RBIs. He still may, but he was way up the list, driving the ball with authority. And this Boston offense that we highlighted coming into this series, that's a big blow for them.
2 on Verdugo, and that is strike 3 call.
Josh Fleming right now is some kind of locked in. You think about the way that he's been able to command his pitches. Starts his breaking ball right at the front hip. I mean, that ball comes out of the hand, and Verdugo's like, no, that ball's in off the plate. It gives up on it. There it starts its break and catches plenty of plate. You can see Verdugo nodding yes, like, yeah, that got me.
There's a strike to Christian Arroyo. Fleming in the rhythm right now.
You know what we have not seen from Josh Fleming so far? You know, it's early 2023. We've not seen him throw a cutter yet. That was a pitch he threw about 15-16% of the time last year.
The end of the bat, and that's going to roll through. Diaz started after it, then retreated toward the bag, and it was out of the reach of Lau. And Arroyo just got that one through, and it threaded the needle through.
There's no doubt about it. Right here, you're going to see Brandon Lau, and there's Yandy Diaz. Somehow, you're going to fit it through there. It did not hit it that hard. It was right off the end of the bat. Let's take a look. Yandy goes after it, peels off. Brandon Lau has no chance to get to it. Just perfectly placed.
This a line drive down to first. Diaz makes the grab. No runs, a hit, the man left. 5th inning brought to you by your local GMC dealers. Back to the action quicker just by swinging by the shortstop at the Budweiser porch for your snack and beverage needs. In and out in quick fashion right there. And the way this game's going, that's apropos. Manuel Margot leading off the bottom of the 5th.
Doesn't it make perfect sense as we come into this series? We're highlighting both teams' offenses. But as we said, it's going to come down to who's going to pitch.
Yep.
And right now, both sides are. Beeks and Fleming and Pivetta.
That's a strike. 1-1.
It's one of those measuring stick series. You know, your first divisional series. Red Sox are amped up for it. You know the Rays are.
Well, that pitch disappeared.
Boy, did it ever.
Wow.
I mean, like a fighter jet.
Center field. Snyder to his left, and he's there. So 1 away.
That has been the key for Nick Pivetta. He's made very few mistakes with the fastball in the zone. Everything has been top of the zone and above, and then he's been able to work his breaking balls, the curveball and the slider, off of that. But that fastball is what is setting everything up.
Christian Bethancourt. Ball, no strikes. The Rays coming in 9-0. Boston 5-4. Two and 0. He's facing the 30-year-old right-hander. Originally out of Victoria, British Columbia. Did he go? He did not. 3 balls, no strikes.
That pitch in off the plate. Ooh, maybe he did go. But that call goes the Rays' way.
Now a strike, and that makes it 3-1. Second 3-ball count Pivetta has had tonight. He went 3-1 with Brandon Loud, walked him in the 3rd. Now 3-1 with Bethancourt in the 5th. Bethancourt takes a strike. Took a little step toward first, trying to influence Jeremy Rehak. Didn't go for it. And a cut and a miss. Well, strikeout number 5. A little late cutting action.
There it is. I mean, it's there to hit, but you see right there the swing of Bethancourt. He's just a little out in front. Why? Because the 3 previous pitches were the fastballs. It sped him up a little bit, and he got out in front of that hanger.
Here's Yandy Diaz. .95 just missed the strike zone. 1-0. Down. 2 balls, no strikes. Pivetta went 5 innings against Pittsburgh. Gave up an earned run on 3 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Tonight, so far, no runs, 3 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. All 3. It's been a good pitching matchup. There's Brandon Lowe on deck, hoping to get a chance to swing the bat in this inning. And ball 4. Yandy will take a walk. Coming up tomorrow, Rays Live, the pregame presented by Academy Sports. Shane McClanahan on the hill for the Rays tomorrow. We'll hear from him, and Doug will break down Josh Lowe. Tomorrow, McClanahan after his 3rd win, and Garrett Whitlock scheduled to be activated. Big conference on the mound now by Boston with Brandon Lowe about to step in.
Yeah, you know, you fall behind Yandy Diaz. He was careful with him, a 2-out walk, and a guy that's had a good measure of success against Nick Pivetta, and of course in a scoreless game, and you're in the middle part of the game. How about right here? After Harold Ramirez kept the inning alive with good hustle to second base, Brandon Lowe, that's what you were talking about earlier, Dwayne, showing that good power to straightaway left field.
That is a victory yesterday when the Rays closed out the Oakland series with an 11-0 win. And now here's Brandon Lowe again, 3 for 9 against Pivetta coming into play tonight. With 2 of those hits home runs, he has grounded out and walked in this game. It is up in the count 1-0 right now. Pitch popped up left side. It's out of play. Both the infield and the outfield around playing Lowe to pull the ball. 1-1. Fastball a little above the zone. Lau missed it. 96 up there.
Yeah, Connor Wong was tucked in. Wanted that fastball up and in. It certainly was up, maybe a little bit over the plate, but when you keep it elevated up there around the letters, it's so difficult for a hitter to get to.
And a foul ball. Just a little piece of that one. That pitch coming in. Arena would be next if Lau can keep the inning going. Two and two. Brandon pops it up, foul ball. Wong's after it, but no chance. So nice little battle here. Lau working the count out to 2-2, fouling some pitches. And now a full count. Well, he went 3-2 to Bethancourt, struck him out, walked Diaz on 4 pitches, and now Lau has battled up here and worked the count all the way to 3-2. Yandy will be off. There he goes, and the pitch, a swing and miss. That will retire the side. Cut action there, and so the Rays do not score. They leave a man. No score through 5.
He gave up 5 runs on 10 hits through 3 innings. And Christian Bethancourt was the man who caught him that day. And when we spoke with Christian about it, he said, listen, he was throwing a lot of strikes. They were just very aggressive. He said he did what he was supposed to do. He got ahead and got the strikes. They just jumped on him. So, guys, as Kevin Cash also pointed out, the strike throwing for Fleming is fine. Cash said maybe mix in a couple more off-speed pitches here and there. But he said overall, Josh does have an understanding of what allows him to be successful, guys.
Well, so far so good tonight. 3 innings, 1 hit. And here in the 6th inning, a first pitch strike to Connor Wong. Jalen Beeks open, worked the first 2. The tapper foul, 2 strikes on Wong.
You know, the other thing here about Josh Fleming tonight, we talked about him popping a couple of fastballs in to keep these right-handed hitters honest. He's been so good away with the 2-seam, the backdoor breaking ball, the changeup. He hasn't had to come in yet.
Oh, and look at that. That's nice right there. He gets a swinging strike.
Yeah, they've been such high-quality pitches that to this point, Josh Fleming is. Listen, I don't think I need to go in there. They're not picking up on it. They're taking swings like this, missing by plenty. He's feeling really good out there with his stuff. So, yeah, just keep it rolling. He's been outstanding.
Now the pitch to Kike Hernandez, 1-0. 4 strikeouts now for Fleming. This one is wide. And I have him with strikeouts, 2 on the change, 1 on a breaking ball, and 1 on a fastball.
Yeah, the fastball was to the left-handed hitting Casas. He took that 2-seamer. He threw 3 in a row.
That's right. Little tapper third, even with the bag. Paredes makes the throw. 2 gone.
Have a feel. These infielders, you have to have a feel. The hitter coming out of the box is 3 inches closer to first base than he was a season ago. Isaac Paredes not going to waste any time. Yeah, glove it, but then get rid of it quickly. We saw that cost. That's another hustle play by Harold Ramirez. Cost Jace Peterson in the game yesterday. A little hesitation, and Harold turned that into an infield hit.
Devers takes the pitch down. 2 outs, base is empty. This one is cued off the end of the bat, 1-1. Both bullpens are busy. That's Garrett Clevenger, the lefty, up the right field line for the Rays. And that's a strike at the knees. 1-2. Devers looking back at the plate umpire, thought that pitch might have been low. And strike 3 called, and that pitch he also thought was low. We go to the bottom of the 6th, no score.
Well, Nick Pavetta's night is over. The Rays dugout, I don't think too sad about that. 5 innings, 3 hits, didn't give up anything. A couple of walks, 6 strikeouts. He was really good with that elevated fastball for the most part, and then that allowed his breaking pitches to go to work, the sliders and the curveballs, and you can see that 4-seamer leading to half of his swings and misses. And right there at the top of the zone, again, very effective with that pitch. It did a lot to set up everything else. 38% on the whiff rate here tonight. But most importantly for the Red Sox, he has kept the Rays off of the scoreboard. They've had very little margin for error because Rays pitching's been pretty good too.
We're headed into the bottom half of inning 6. John Winkowski will take over for Pivetta. The right-hander's first pitch is a power fastball, 96 on the corner, strike 1 to Randy Arozarena. Randy quickly down 0-2. Winkowski had a perfect inning Sunday in Detroit. Upstairs, 1-2. Ground ball and pitch in on Arozarena, and he's out. Devers to Casas. Third to first, 1 away.
Well, Winkowski, he's going to sinker slider for the most part. He will cut it. Has a changeup, rarely used. We, of course, already saw that velocity, Dwayne. You were talking about that 97.
Wander Franco. Fighting down and in, strike 1.
A little bit of sweep to that slider. Good velocity and life on the heater.
It's in off the plate, 1-1. Braves had some chances early. Up and away, 2-1. Braves had men in scoring position in each of the first 3 innings, nothing since. Red Sox have had no one in scoring position tonight. Count will go to 2-2 on Franco. Two, fouled away. For Pivetta tonight. Just the 3 hits, no runs. And there's a high fly ball, right field, and Verdugo is there.
Talked about the sweep on that slider, and there was he left that one up a little bit, but there was enough of it that it just cut right into the bat and missed the barrel of the bat for Wander Franco. You know, right now, every pitch is huge. You're getting into the later stages of this game, scoreless.
Now the left-handed bat of Luke Raley, and the pitch is a strike. Raley has doubled and has struck out. 3 home runs on the year. It's foul the other way.
When you see the way he tried to fight that slider off, that shows you how late the break was. That ball started out in the middle of the plate. He goes to make a swing and it darts down and in, and he just kind of had to make the adjustment on that swing just to foul it off.
Upstairs. Chopper foul. Pivetta and Winkowski, Beeks and Fleming for the Rays. Clevenger busy in the bullpen. Raley swing and miss. All popping away, but the recovery by Wong and the throw down to Casas. 1, 2, 3, go the Rays. We go to the 7th, no score. Rays baseball on Bally Sports, brought to you by the Aggressive Attorneys, Winters and Yonker. By the Florida Lottery, which has generated over $43 billion for Florida students and schools. And by Truist. Well, a peek down memory lane there, back to 2008, with the Rays clinching, headed to the 2008 World Series. Knocked off the Red Sox. They're their way to the Fall Classic. Well, Justin Turner will lead off the 7th for Boston. Garrett Clevenger in the game now. The Rays with another lefty out there. He pours that fastball in, popped up foul. Will it be playable? The answer is no. Yandy Diaz gave it a chase, but it was on the other side of the screen. Fleming, very good tonight.
What a great bounce back for him.
4 innings, just 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, 47 pitches.
I was just going to say, I didn't know the pitch count, just knew that it was really efficient.
Yep.
He didn't waste a lot of time, got a lot of early contact, a lot of soft contact.
Yeah, good for him to see his success here coming out of the Washington outing. So a good one tonight for him. Beeks for 2, Fleming 4, and Clevenger on the 0-2 to Turner, who fouls it. Turner, the former Dodger. Ball, 2 strikes.
I'm wondering how that didn't get offered at. That ball was in the zone for an awful long time. What an eye by Justin Turner.
Fouled away. Had a little bit of a scare early in the spring. He was hit in the face, hit by a pitch from Matt Manning. Now the 1-2. Lifted up the right side out of play. Yoshida will be next, and then Rev Snyder. diving stop. Clevenger's going to have to get over there, and he wins the race. Yandy Diaz, nicely done there at first base, stretching out, and then Clevenger hightailing it over to first to get there in time.
Well, anything to the right side, you got to go. And Yandy Diaz basically the only guy over there. Nice step and a backhanded dive. Now lead your pitcher to the bag just in time to get Justin Turner. Let's see Garrett Clevenger realizing, oh, I better go. Makes up the ground quickly and records the out.
That's such a great looking play when it works, and it's a lot more difficult than what we just saw. Yoshida takes the strike. Of course, almost every play on a big league field is more difficult than it looks from this vantage point.
Isn't it amazing?
It really is.
It's so true.
I mean, we say, well, there's a routine ground ball. There's hardly a routine ground ball. You know, for the average person, there are no routine plays out there.
No, I can remember in a rain delay sitting in the dugout, and talking to Mike Hargrove. And Mike Hargrove, you know, the interesting about this game, and I'm sure it's of every game, but he said the interesting about this game, the further you get away from it, the easier it looks.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Sitting in the dugout, ball into the gap. This is where everybody should be lined up. Sit in the stands. The pitches aren't as fast. They aren't as crisp. He said you watch a game on TV and it looks easy.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's not. It is absolutely not easy. This one is down, 1 ball, 1 strike. That's the great thing about the game. The grace of the game, it can look that way, but you put yourself down there and you find out in a hurry how difficult it is.
No, the speed of the game it's mind-blowing. And I'm not just talking about the stuff that's coming out of pitchers' mouths, arms from the mound. Just the players, the ground that they're able to cover, the throws that they have to make, the athleticism that's shown. The game moves at a breakneck speed when you're down there on that field.
Swing and a miss. Out number 2. Clevenger gets the left fielder Yoshida on strikes.
That's not long enough. Garrett Clevenger excellent with this slider down and away, and you can see Yoshida reaching, doing anything he can do to try to foul tip that ball off at minimum, and wasn't able to do it. The nastiness and lateness of the break.
Snyder bites down and in, out of the zone. 1-0. Third, into the glove of Paredes, and a perfect throw to first. We are in the middle of inning number 7. 7th inning stretch presented by your Suncoast Hyundai dealers. The field, buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and so much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. On to the bottom half of inning 7 we go. No score, just 5 hits in this game. The Rays have 3 of them. And Harold Ramirez looks for his first hit. Takes the pitch down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Paredes next, and then Margot. Josh Winkowski on the hill for Boston. Ground ball. Third base. Devers backs up, fields, and throws, and that's a nice play by Devers.
Anytime you retreat as an infielder to get a better hop, you better be ready to throw.
Yep.
That's the bottom line, because you're giving up ground and you're making the throw a little bit longer. A nice job by Devers.
And Ramirez is not the fastest guy in the world, but I'll tell you, he puts more effort into running the bases than almost anybody we see, and we just saw that in the last series.
And I think that he's faster than a lot of people think. You know, you look at his size. You know, he's a guy, 6 foot 230, but he can move.
He does.
And I think that Rafael Devers, because of what happened yesterday, said, I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to get rid of it.
Paredes takes this one off the plate. It's 1-1. Nice foul. That ball breaking. Paredes just got a little piece of the end of the bat there on it. 1-2. Colin Poche, the lefty. It's been a little while since he's been in a game. So he's busy in the bullpen right now. Foul ball back. Still 1-2. Down and in. 2-2. Well, Margot on deck. And we're going to go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Toward the hole and short, backhanded by Hernandez. Throw is going to be short. Casas had to come off the bag, and that's a base hit for Paredes. See the throw from deep short start to fade. The Rays get a base runner.
Well, here it is. You're ranging, you got a really long throw, and it's across your body. And if that throw's on line, and that's a big if because of the effort that Hernandez had to give just to get to that ball and get it on its way, you've got a chance. But it was not. Casas had to leave the bag. Paredes is safe. Paredes is now knuckling and high-fiving everybody in that dugout.
And Brujan's going to run for Paredes over at first, the pinch runner. So the Rays put some speed aboard in a scoreless game in the bottom of the 7th inning. Manuel Margot, the hitter. The pitch is inside.
As you can see right there, Winkowski, a slide step right to the plate. Not a whole lot of wasted movement out there on the mound. Certainly not a high leg kick. Not going to be an easy guy to run on if he's going to slide step with Brujan over there.
And a high chop towards short. Grabbed by Hernandez. Throw to second. It's in time. And boy, that's quite a play by Kike Hernandez to get that throw away to second base in time to get the force on Brujan.
Didn't we talk earlier in the game, Kike Hernandez, how well he can play in the infield and also in the outfield? And here's who you're talking about. Another slide like Rob Refsnyder out in center field and then get it on its way. And a nice job out there by Arroyo to just corral that ball and get that one out. Thought off the bat maybe they had a chance to try to go for 2, but that was not going to happen. So take the 1 and move on.
Go aboard. Bethancourt at the plate. Pitch is outside. 1-0.
Guys that have a delivery like Winkowski this season, if you're going to be leaned on late in the game with the way that we feel that the running game is going to be employed this year, you're going to have to be quick to the plate but also under control, and Josh does a great job of that.
And a chop headed to short, end of the glove of Hernandez. Throw to first in time. Bethancourt's out of there. Rays leave 1. We go to the 8th. No score. A lasting impression on your party when you host your next group event at Tropicana Field. For more info, visit RaysBaseball.com/groups. Colin Poche will be the new pitcher for the Rays, their 4th of the night.
Well, what has been the overriding theme here tonight for the Rays pitching outside of keeping Boston off the scoreboard? The handedness of the pitcher. Left, left, left. I mean, on down they go. Jalen Beeks opened this baby up. Josh Fleming after that. Garrett Clevenger. Now Colin Poche. All lefties for the Rays. See if he can keep it rolling.
The Rays shuffle the defense a bit here. Luke Raley now at first. Andy Diaz at third. Brujan's in the game in right field. And Poche faces Alex Verdugo, and the pitch is a strike. Verdugo The fly ball to left, and a called third strike tonight. 0 for 2. It's 1-1. And that is Chris Martin up in the bullpen for Boston. 2 balls and a strike. O'Shea worked Wednesday. And he falls behind 3-1. O'Shea worked an inning. The Wednesday game in Washington gave up a hit. And he walks the first man he faces. And the leadoff man is on. It's the first walk given up by Rays pitching tonight.
And you certainly don't want it to lead off an inning. It's not exactly what Colin Poche was looking to do, but Verdugo showing some patience, not biting on those pitches just outside the zone. Gonna bear down now.
Christian Arroyo at the plate. And that one just missed in.
I hate when I say dopey things. And before you say that that's often, just
wasn't
stop.
thinking
You
that
know
at
what?
all.
The way that you kind of flipped your little head over here made me think that that's not true. But
A fly ball not too deep to right. Brujan's going to be there to make the catch.
But when you say bear down, it's such a phrase that just squirts out of your mouth. What does that mean? You grit, roll your shoulders, try harder?
Means don't lose any of your concentration. Focus. Bear down means many things to many people.
Yeah, well, when I just said it, I just thought that's just word salad. I'm just saying words that mean nothing.
But you hear that all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And you kind of know what it means, but you should have already been there. You should live life bear down.
Yep, that's right. We've heard it all our lives, and we've been guilty of expressing that a number of times and a number of occasions. A little visit to the mound there, and there could have been a bear down exchange there.
There could have been. I think it was probably more game plan. I mean, who knows? But you get that first out of the way after the walk to Verdugo. Well, this is what it was. You got the pinch hitter, and that's exactly what it was. Let's go over the scouting report here.
And Bobby Dahlbeck's going to hit for Casas. 1 ball, no strikes. One on, 1 out. We're in the 8th. That's a foul ball. With a runner at first, Verdugo with the opening walk, only the 3rd base runner issued tonight. 1 walk and 2 singles. Dahlbeck takes it close. 2-1. Got the miss, takes it to 2-2. Base hit down near the handle of the bat. He got it through. And 2 men on with 1 out.
Strong. Bobby Dahlbeck strong. That's the only way you get that ball out into left field, because that fastball right here got in on him. You see right there, cracked the bat. You see the shards splintering off that bat, but he got enough of it and was strong enough to get it through the infield, over the infield, and drop it in for a single.
first and second. Here's Connor Wong. Fly ball into left. Arozarena's going to go back to make the catch. And the runners retreat to first and second. So with 2 men on and 2 men out, Verdugo reaching on the walk, and Dahlbeck the broken bat base hit to left. They are the runners. And Kike Hernandez, top of the order, steps in. And the pitch upstairs. You see a lot of Pochet's stuff up.
Loves that fastball top of the zone. Riding fastball. Slider off of that. But you're right, he loves to elevate.
Way up this time.
Not there.
Yep. Yeah, that elevator left the building. 2-0. Verdugo at second. Dahlbeck on first. And again, a pitch up, but out of the zone.
But this is a tough spot. More balls than strikes. You've fallen behind Kike Hernandez 3-0. You've got Rafael Devers waiting in the wings.
And that's going to be ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Hernandez. And Verdugo goes to third. Ball back up to second. Hernandez at first, and Rafael Devers. A dangerous situation here with Devers stepping in. And a big swing and miss. Strike one.
Was that a changeup? What was that? Slider maybe?
Some kind of
slider that
slider.
acted like a changeup. There was really no movement on that pitch. Wow.
Now the pitch, and it's foul back. 0-2.
Boy, nice bounce back here so far. Now, right here, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. See how it's able to kind of ride over the swing, and Devers able to just get a piece of it.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, the 2-strike pitch, and it's foul back. That was a fastball up.
Throw that gyro changeup or whatever you started him off with. That was nasty.
Yep. Well, Devers has 7 at-bats against Pochet. And he got it! Strike 3 call. They leave the bases loaded. Devers now has had 8 at-bats against Pochet, and he is 0 for 8 against Pochet. Couldn't say it until this was finished.
Good move.
No score. We go to the bottom of the 8th.
Into the home half of the 8th inning here at Tropicana Field. Let's take a look at our T-Mobile coverage cam. After a walk to Kike Hernandez loaded the bases, you've got Pochet against Devers, and that right there, a gyro changeup, whatever you want to call it, for strike 1. Fastball right there, fouled it off. Strike 2, tries to go up and away, spoils that. Drives one right back to the bottom of the zone, and Rafael Devers could not get the bat off his shoulder. You did not expect that result in that manner, but that's exactly what the Rays got with no margin for error. Big pitch by Pochet, and we, again, remain scoreless and tied.
So here we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yandy Diaz leads off against Chris Martin, and the first pitch is a strike.
Doing a great job of keeping the opposition off the scoreboard, but only 1 strikeout in his 5 innings.
Yandy pops it up. That is out number 1. Christian Arroyo making the grab. That will be Brandon Lau. Pete Fairbanks up in the bullpen. 2. He walked back in the 3rd. Lau is behind in the count 0-2.
Well, Chris Martin, you can see that fastball sitting in the mid-90s. Kind of sped his delivery up there a little bit, trying to get Brandon Lau on the defensive, and he's worked his way right quickly to 0-2.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Martin will attack these hitters with a four-seamer, a cutter, split, a slider.
Foul back.
There's that cutter trying to ride that in, up and in, into the swing of Brandon Lau. Good velocity on that pitch, 92.
One-two pitch. Fouls again. It's 97 up there. This one's off his foot. Wow. Take a little time to get rid of that.
Got that padding down there right off the front of that foot, and that's somewhat protected too. Still doesn't feel good regardless if it catches that protection.
Martin retired Diaz ahead of Brandon Lau. Outside, 2-2. A lot of at-bats for the Rays hitters against Martin. And now the count is full, so good job by Lau. Behind in the count, now it's full. Brandon 1-for-1 against Martin. Arozarena on deck also has an at bat against him with a base hit. That's a shot going to be fouled. And a nice pick up there to protect the catcher down there in the bullpen.
We have been highlighting here the early part of the season the leather being flashed down the left field line. How about this? I mean, that is the do or die.
Well, the 3-2. Swung on. High drive. Deep to right center. That baby is gone. Home run for Brandon Lau. And the Rays will grab the lead. What an at bat for Brandon Lau. A 10-pitch at bat for Brandon Lau. After getting behind, he worked it to 3-2, and now he gives the Rays the lead. First pitch to Arozarena is a strike.
Wait till you see where the pitch was located, and Brandon Lau did not miss. But Dwayne, you see a guy for 10 straight pitches, you start to get comfortable with the release point, and he made a mistake, a tragic mistake on that 10th pitch. What a shot.
The chopper toward third, charged by Devers, has a little trouble getting rid of it, but he gets it over there in time. 2 gone. Here's a look at that home run again.
Full count, four-seam fastball, right to the middle. That's belt middle. And give Brandon Lowe all the credit in the world for being able to dial up that swing, barrel that baseball, and get it out of here. Section 146 if you're keeping score at home.
Wander Franco takes the pitch wide. 1-0. Working out the smile there in the dugout, and for good reason. Wanted it bad, and then delivered on the 10th pitch of that at bat. Franco jammed, and he pops it up. Arroyo is there, and he makes the grab. So the Rays are out in the 8th inning, but they pick up the go-ahead run on one swing of the bat from Brandon Lowe.
The 10th pitch of the at-bat, our Chevy play of the game, and Brandon Lowe gets a center cut fastball from Chris Martin, deposits it out into the right center field seats, and that right now is the difference in the game. The only run on the scoreboard. Let's take a look at our new team now. Game summary, and it's been all about the pitching, which we thought it would be coming in because both of these offenses were so hot. The Rays running out lefty after lefty after lefty, keeping the Red Sox off the board. Nick Pivetta, 5 shutout innings, and that Boston bullpen very good up until that 3-2 fastball by Chris Martin.
Well, Pete Fairbanks, the new pitcher for the Rays, and he drops that first pitch in there. A strike to Justin Turner. Turner 0 for 3. And he fouls this one back, and he fouled it off the plate umpire, Jeremy Rehak. Well, Pete Fairbanks has done his job and then some.
I mean, how about the strikeout to walk ratio? 36-3, 24 innings of work, opponent average 125. So dominant with that fastball slider coming off of it.
Strike 3, 99, and Turner could not pull the trigger on that. 1 out in the 9th.
How about this? Pete Fairbanks just not messing around. That is 99. That is center cut. And Justin Turner looking for something else.
Yoshida, first pitch is a strike. Masataka Yoshida, 1 for 3. He's singled back in the 2nd inning. Down a bit. 1-1. And a ground ball back to the mound. Over to first, 2 gone. Well, the Rays came into this game with back-to-back shutouts of 11-0 in each game in games 2 and 3 of the Oakland series. They lead 1-0 with 2 outs in the 9th inning of this one. Raimel Tapia will pinch hit for Rep Snyder. Two outs. Bases empty. Fairbanks delivers. And it's a little low. Ball, no strikes. There's a strike. 98. 1-1. Could not catch up to 97.
Not with a swing that big. Raimel Tapia trying to tie this game with that swing, but 97 top of the zone, forget about it.
Here we go. Broken bat, ground ball, right side. Lowe with the toss. Rays win it. It's a 1-0 final. 3 up, 3 down. The Rays win their 10th consecutive game to begin the season, and they throw their 3rd consecutive shutout. And the home run by Brandon Lowe, the difference in this game.
We started talking about, what, the 5th or 6th inning, how every pitch was huge because the margin for error was so thin. And now here with 2 outs, Brandon Lowe, the hero, gets to help record that final out. That ball off the bat of Tapia. Pete Fairbanks, another clean inning. The Rays, another clean win.
27 scoreless innings pitched. 3 shutouts. The Rays are 10-0. Back in a moment.